You're probably here for this thing right here, but you might also be here for the pineapple mango salsa that I'm gonna make with some nachos on the induction cooktop with that thing a little bit later in the video. But this is the DJI Power 1000. It's an all-in-one portable power station meant to power all the electronics and things that you might bring out on a campsite like this. That being said, the video is a sponsored video by DJI. They sent me the power station free of charge, as well as some other swag to incentivize the sharing of this video for myself. It does cost me time, money, and energy to come out and put these things together. So that's just part of the deal for them to be able to get reviews like this out there. And this is also a way that I can share back personally with some of you guys that are following my channel, doing similar things to what I'm doing, and or maybe you're just looking for a product review on something that you're interested in. So essentially that's how it is. And with that in mind, I'm going to be as fair and honest about everything in here that I can, and just share things like the specs of the machine, the capabilities of it. We're going to test it out by boiling up some water to cook the corn, which I'm then going to slice off and mix into the pineapple mango salsa. I've got some corn tortillas that we're going to fry up as well, so make some little corn chips. And I got a little bit of fish that I caught on a spearfishing trip that I'm going to add into that. So it's just going to be a nice light snack for my dinner tonight, and we're going to do that. But in the meantime, I'll go over the machine itself and all the different features of it, and share things like the solar panel that it came with, as well as this cool bag that you can get to carry it around with. It's actually a pretty cool design. They got these vent panels on it, and then this little front main access panel right there. And it's quite nice to walk around with it like this. And yeah, the cooking tonight is going to be powered by the Power 1000 on this induction cooktop right here. This smells so good too. So yeah, I'll make some room here. We'll check out all these bits here in a minute. We'll just drag the machine over, get rid of this stuff for now, put that over there, and take a look at this guy. So it's 13 kilograms, guys. That's how much this thing weighs. I'll put the dimensions up here on the screen somewhere so you can get that. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I can tell you some of the specs on it. It has a 1024 watt lithium iron phosphate battery in it, which can charge up to 80% in 50 minutes or 100% in 70 minutes with the provided AC outlet cable right here. You just plug it into the wall and away you go. And if you want to charge it with a generator, you can also do that too. Just plug it into the generator and you're going to have the same specs. And since we're already talking about the charging, we might as well get into the solar part of it, as well as charging it in your car when you're driving it around. So there's two other methods here that we're going to go over. This is the charge controller that you can buy for it. It's an optional accessory. It'll plug right into it. And then in this, you've got 3 ports on it right here, which will accept 3 solar panels. These are the solar panels right here. They're something that you can fold out in a camping scenario, point it in the direction of the sun, get your juice, and then just charge up the battery that way. The Power 1000 will take 2 of these things. So that means you can plug into 6 panels into it, bringing your total up to 600 watts. But that's not all. You can get an MC4 adapter to this and hook it up to a different kind of solar panel, bringing your total wattage up to 800 watts. They have information on that in the manual and on the website. That being said, if you want to charge this with your vehicle, you're going to get this cable right here, which will plug into the same ports on the side right here. And then this cable right here just plugs right into that. And the other end of that is going to plug into your 12-volt outlet in your console. And if your vehicle has 2 of those 12-volt sockets, you could actually get 2 of these cables and charge this thing up twice as fast with your vehicle as you're driving. That being said, this isn't a very fast way of charging it. It's only going to bring in about 100 watts, give or take, and 2 of them is going to be about 200. So it'd be faster, of course, to do it with 800 watts of solar, and even more fast if you just plug it straight into the wall like this. You're gonna basically bringing in 1200 watts straight into it with the AC charging right here. And I didn't point that out. So this right here is a little switch that you can toggle back and forth. 1200 watts is the normal input that you're gonna get for that AC cord right here. And this is a 600 watt toggle if you wanted to downgrade the input wattage of that. The only real time that you're going to do that is if you're doing a maintenance charge on the battery, which they explain in the manual. And that's something that's characteristic of any lithium iron phosphate battery, or any battery for that matter. They all require a set of maintenance charges or storage parameters to preserve the health of them in the long run. But that's really the only reason why that toggle switch is there. Most of the time, you're just going to be charging it up at 1200 watts so that you're charging it up as fast as you can. All right, last little bit of tech about this whole thing is the output power of it. This side is the AC output. You've got 2200 watt inverter in this thing, so it'll power anything that's 2200 watts. It's going to power this induction cooktop just fine in just a minute. It'll also power something at 2600 watts for up to 30 seconds, and it does have a surge rating of 4400 watts. That's the AC output of this. So you got two plugs right here. The toggle button for this too is also kind of cool because there's two functions of this one. Right now you can see the LED is fading in and out, so it'll be like that by default, which means that if there's no power detected in this for 30 minutes, it'll power off the inverter automatically. But if you, for some reason, did not want the inverter to power off automatically, you just press and hold it, and then that's going to put it into a standstill mode, so then that's going to keep the inverter on full time. There's two more things left. We've got USB-A ports and USB-C. These ones are 24 watt fast charging, and these are 140 watt fast charging, so it's perfectly fine at charging cell phones, laptops. And then over here we've got the two SDC ports. There's two of them here. There's one is SDC and the other one's SDC Lite, although the specs for them are exactly the same. The output is 240 watts and the input is 400 watts. The input is actually goes up to 58 volts, so it's meant for, I think the battery in this thing is actually a 48 volt battery, so that's why it's up there as far as voltage goes. So that's just those two right there. But these guys are mostly put in there so that you can fast charge the things like the big drones, but they are also multifunctional. They're making more accessories for those things too. Right now you've got the charge controller, you've got the plug that you can plug it into your car as you're driving, and you've also got the 12 volt socket that you can get for it as well if you've got anything that you want to power off of these things. This will plug right into it. You can get two of these and just plug them in there. So this side of things is just more of a multi-function side of the whole machine itself. So there's another way to use this thing that's different from how we're going to use it right now, and it's time now to get cooking on dinner. It's getting to that time of day. But if you were to want a backup power system for in your home, this thing works really well, especially in the case if you're powering something like a desktop computer, and if the power does go out, it's going to switch over to this thing so that your computer doesn't shut down. It's going to have the battery power this machine that'll take care of it in the event of a quick power outage or a brownout or something along those lines. But yeah, other than that, it's just the physical properties of the machine itself. I forgot to mention that the ventilation on it is really quiet. So in that scenario where you're going to have this sitting on your desk as a backup power system, you will not hear the fans running on this. They are so quiet. I can feel them in the time that I've had it, but I've never been able to hear them. And yeah, other than that, and I should point out, the backside is completely flat, so you can put this right up against a wall, just like that. And these, by the way, these two mounting ports right here are for the charge controller. If you wanted to mount that on the side, you can. And these things come with a bracket that allows you to put both of them here. So you can actually have two of these mounted on here on the side like that. But I don't think you can fit it into the bag if those things are mounted onto the side. So for me, I've just left it off, and I keep those accessories in the back pocket of this thing right here, which for now seems like a good place to put it because it's dinner time and we don't need this stuff. So we'll just shove it in there, and we'll call it done. We'll call it done. The solar panel, guys, is a good design. It's just this cloth covering. It folds out like this, and it has legs that allow you to stand it up like this. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going on dinner. There's a few more things that I need, so I'm just gonna get that out and sort of set up. I need my chopping board, which is kind of miniature. Some coconut oil for the tortilla chips, and some other stuff as well. I think I got coconut oil here, and we need a pan as well, which is going to be this one. Nice flat one for the chips. And I don't think I need anything else in there. Welcome to the inside of my van, by the way. Some of you guys who watch my channel on a regular know this place really well, but some of you probably tuning in have never seen this before. So anyway, that's my mini chopping block there. A knife, some chopsticks, quite noisy, some salt, and I'm sure I'll need some other stuff too, but we'll start with that. And just gotta shuffle some of this stuff out. Bring it out to the operation. There we go. And it's cooling off. It's I feel like summer's kind of on the tail end right now. But it is what it is. So anyway, this is the part where we get kind of casual, just kind of cook some food and test out this machine. I know it's going to cook dinner just fine, so, but you guys will kind of have to see it in operation. And I just realized that I should start with the pot of boiling water so that we can cook the corn, so that that's ready, and then we'll do the chips afterwards. Alrighty, that should be enough water, I think, for this operation. So, get her going. Turn that on. There we go. That should be fine. So, yeah, I'll just let that do its thing there. We're drawing 953 watts of power. So, yeah, we're gonna try to boil that much water. In the meantime, I'm gonna get the corn ready to go. This stuff's from Vancouver Island, so it's a local corn. It's supposed to be non-GMO, but I don't know. We'll trust that. And it's starting to warm up, which is great. I'm not sure that I'm going to use the pepper, but I'll use that. And the mangoes, chilies, onion. We'll get that going. To be honest, guys, I've never actually made pineapple mango salsa before, but you know, you got to be adventurous and try new things and sometimes experiment while making YouTube videos. It is what it is. There we go. All right, the water isn't quite boiling yet, but it is, little bubbles are starting to come up. Because we're just under 50% now, I'm gonna throw those in, and we're just gonna put 3 in there, because if I put the 4th one in, I don't think I can get them all in there for one. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'll probably get it in there. Let me grab it. There we go. Corn on the cob. And to be fair, guys, this is not a method that I prefer to cook with, because you're converting electricity into heat, which is a pretty bad way of using electricity. This is going to be far more efficient in charging laptops, charging your gear, powering devices, a blender, stuff for short periods of time. This thing over here is like pretty well hogging nearly 1,000 watts of power since I started it going, and it's just sucking back the juice, but it is what it is. All right, I am gonna guess that this is done. It's really down to the wire, it feels like, with all of this. I feel like such an amateur at this. Not only because the thing's like low on battery, but also because I made so much salsa that this is crazy. There's enough here for like 10 people. Like, I'm definitely new at this, making salsa business. Anyway, I'm gonna put some of it in a plate. I'm just mixing it up in the bag with both my hands and holding you guys right now. So I'm gonna put some of it in the plate. Then I'm gonna do the fish, and I was really hoping for corn chips, but for some reason, if we have to, we will do a taco instead and just kind of heat up the corn chip or the tortilla itself as opposed to frying it in oil like I planned. But if that doesn't work, then I don't know, might have to break out the gas and see if I can square that away. But here we go. So yeah, this is a rockfish that I caught a little while ago. This smells so good too. I'm gonna turn that down. That is ready. Let's go. Let's turn that off for a second. Okay, I've got 12% left. I'm just gonna attempt to cook up some of these, just warm them up like that in the pan for some tacos and just have it like that essentially. So I'll just put them all in there. I think I got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 tacos. It turns out that little vibration was the microphone battery dying. So here I am thinking that I'm live and I'm recording video as usual, but there is simply no audio to it, and I'm recovering this with a voiceover. It's just the way it is. But luckily I got through most of the technical jargon in this video up until this point, and here I'm just enjoying the fish taco, the final prize of the video. And these were so good, by the way. I ended up eating all 4 of them, and I managed to steam through all 4 tortillas while I still had battery left on that Power 1000 unit. But then the battery on that thing died, and it was blinking at me, and I was talking about it for a little while, and then I finished up my last fish taco and decided it's time for the next step. The next step was me cooking corn chips. I decided to get the gas stove from out of my van and get those going because I was still hungry, but then I ran out of gas for the gas stove and part of these chips in here were just soggy. I couldn't really do anything with them except throw them out, but then I did manage to get a handful that were good. So anyway, that's how I do it. I just kind of fry these in a little coconut oil, and they're delicious as well. They would have been better had I had a little bit more fish, but we'll take this back into the van where I realize the microphone battery had died as well. We got to the point in this video where I'm out of power, I'm out of gas, I'm out of light. The battery's about to die to here. The microphone battery just died. So we're back to using the phone mic, but those are the tortilla chips that I was talking about. So anyway, I've already had one. They're delicious. I highly recommend trying them out sometime, and also trying out that salsa. I think it's pretty good. And maybe if you're up for it, trying out one of those things. They are pretty kick-ass. Yeah, pretty nice machine, but it is dead. I think try turning it on. It'll turn on, but it's still beeping at us. So I'll just turn it off. Anyway, My whole final thoughts on that thing is, and all of those things combined, I do not recommend cooking with induction with them. You can do it, but it's sort of a silly way of using the solar generators. I just did it because, well, DJI, to be honest, suggested that I try cooking my dinner with the induction cooktop because I didn't have any high-powered appliances to plug into it. Otherwise, my highest power thing is like my sewing machines, and that might have been interesting too, but those things don't pull very much power anyway. They're like 60 watts, which is really nothing, like maybe 80 on my Surger. But I think the best way of using this thing is for, you know, all your appliances that you would normally use. It'll do pretty much anything that you can plug into a regular household socket. It'll run that. These things are generally rated to like 1800 watts for one of these sockets, and that's 2200, so it's already well above what you can do on a normal wall socket. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna have some of these nachos, and then I'm gonna probably go for a little walk. Went for a walk yesterday. Maybe I'll share a little bit of that with you before signing off completely, but that's it. That's all I got. Hope you enjoyed it. DJI Power 1000. I just want to say thanks to those guys for sending this thing for me, and it's been fun to try it out. See you next time.